We're all at some point feeling overwhelmed or hopeless, or there's something like that probably coming and going. And so I thought we could work directly with that in this practice. So just to acknowledge at the start, yeah, sometimes I do feel that. And maybe your mind is pretty steady most of the time, your system is pretty regulated, and this comes in once in a while. And it might just be in the background, it might be right in the foreground. Let's take a moment and notice, what does it feel like when I let in the fear, the grief? What's happening in our world right now is huge. As you're doing that, remain aware of your body. Notice your breath. We're not witnessing our experience from a distance. We're experiencing it and we're witnessing it at the same time. This is a very internal, intimate witnessing we're talking about. Take a few exhales. Notice if you could soften your body a bit. And then bring your attention into your heart center. That's that area that's protected by the rib cage, right? Kind of in the center of that. Sometimes when we work with the heart center, we work with a warm golden glow of light. So if that's here, that can be very reassuring and comforting to really tune into the light in the heart center. You can have your hand on your heart or both hands. Feel that warmth as well. Take a few deep breaths. And we're going to move between letting it in and then letting it move to the background. One of the things that we could notice is what's happening in the mind, in our thought stream. I feel overwhelmed at times. There's too much grief. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. Whatever is coming up for you, take a look. Stay really aware with your body, your breath, and that you're watching thoughts. Thoughts are images, some of them moving pictures like videos, some of them still photos. They're words. That's what thoughts are. They're words and pictures. And some of these thoughts, like these ones, have an impact or a response in our body. So we could notice that as well. What does it feel like in your body when you put your attention on those words or those pictures? Stay present and give yourself 100% permission to back away, to take a break and just come back into that feeling in the heart. Notice your breathing. We're working with what Peter Levine talks as pendulation. We're letting it in a little bit and then we're backing away. Whatever those thoughts are, notice the thoughts again. If it's images, notice that there's colors and shapes in images. Notice your response to images. Some of these images might be things we've seen, they might be things that we're imagining, somebody else's experience, and then we kind of put ourselves in that position too. And notice where the energy is in your body as you're looking at these, as you're aware of these thoughts. It's very common to have a tightening in our chest, or we stop breathing, hold our breath, and we're very gently moving to paying attention to the thoughts, and then we feel it in our body. We're paying attention to that. I feel overwhelmed. There's so much grief right now. And then take that step back. Remain aware now of your breath again. Notice your heart center, warmth of your hands on your heart. Really giving yourself permission to work with this in a way that is supportive. We're letting it in so that we can feel it. And if you're starting to get a bit swept away in it, bring yourself really back. Notice, why is it that that's the experience right now? Is there a feeling in your body? Are you starting to shut down? Are you moving away from it somehow? And that's fine too. It's one of the ways that we work with this. And then we come back to the breath. As you're breathing, notice if you could offer yourself kindness, compassion. It's natural the way we feel. And if you're getting into catastrophic thoughts or really compulsive thinking, bring yourself back. Do some tapping on the thoughts. Bring your attention away from the thoughts and just into the feel of your fingers tapping on your forehead, the sensation of that, the sound of the tapping. Helps us to kind of break the trance of the thought so that we can come back into awareness. And notice the emotion that's here. Sadness, fear would be two really common ones. Anger, perhaps, despair. And you might look at those words or thoughts about that, and you could also really feel that in your body. What is it in your body that makes it feel like despair, whatever it might be going on in there? Is it thoughts that are attached to it? Is it a certain heaviness in the energy? Sometimes we kind of slump down. We go into a head down, shoulders forward posture. If that's the case, you could go even further into it for, 10 or 15 seconds. Feel that in your body. Let that be there. This is too much. And then lift yourself up. Bring your shoulders up, back. Open your eyes. Bring your gaze up so that it's a little bit above your eye line. Take a deep breath or two. Notice your feet on the floor, your seat. Relax your shoulders again. Notice your breath. And notice that there are ways to keep coming back. We might feel something and let that in for 20 or 30 seconds, and then we come back to the awareness of our breath. Bring your attention again to that warm glow of light in the heart center. And now, letting go of the other thoughts and emotions that might be coming and going, we can always come back. Bring your attention into your compassion, your kindness. We could first offer that to ourselves. These are really difficult times. And we might not be handling it as perfectly as we would like to be, or we might be noticing old patterns or impatience with ourselves. So, right now, we could step back from that. Notice if there's a willingness here to let yourself have the experience you're having without judging, to really accept yourself in this moment. And through the warmth of your own hands on your heart, or the warmth of your own goodwill towards yourself, offer your own kindness and compassion to yourself. Let it soften your body, ease your breath, and hold yourself in this warmth, this acceptance. Notice your whole body again. Let your body soften. And see if there's kindness and compassion that you could kind of beam out into the world as well from your heart center. Notice the kindness that might be here for people that you know and love, for people that you don't know, to let that kindness and compassion radiate out. And it's possible that thoughts come in with that too. There's resistance to feeling compassion towards certain people, or there's all kinds of things that could be coming up. So we're not shaming ourselves for whatever's coming up. We're just staying with it. Stay with that feeling, stay with the willingness. Or if there's unwillingness, stay with that too and bring yourself back to compassion for yourself if that's what's here. Let your eyes soften. Notice your heart. And let's rest in the heart for a couple of minutes. You could notice your breath, notice the body again. Let go of the practice and really notice what it is that's here right now. Let yourself rest. If thoughts come and go, we could watch Notice that they're coming. Notice if there's an energetic response, and then notice that thoughts go. They don't stick around forever. You could keep coming back to noticing the softness of the breath, movement of your belly. Let your attention be stabilized. If your mind is going off into anything else, just to bring it back. And notice that we can do that. We might have to open our eyes and do some focus shifting on the other side of the room. If there's images that seem persistent, we could move our body, we could get up and shake. There are many, many ways to come back to equilibrium. We could notice the compassion and kindness that's here. That in all of our imperfection and all of the emotion and struggle that we might be having, that we can always come back, be present with ourselves. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.